This video is best viewed on a stereoscopic 3D monitor or with YouTube's cardboard viewing option. For more 3D options, use the Flash Player by clicking the first link in the description. Welcome to Stereo 3D Productions and this virtual reality Let's Play of Subnautica. Not only is this the beginning of a great new virtual reality Let's Play series using the HTC VIVE as the main headset, but this part also happens to be my 1,000 subscribers special. So it's a 2-for-1 today. Actually, kind of a 3-for-1, because in addition of doing this video as my 1,000 subscriber special, I'm also sort of introducing this series as a 1,000 subscriber milestone gift to my viewers. That's right, Subnautica has been on the candidate list to become a Let's Play series for a while now, and it finally gets the upgrade from VR holodeck to Let's Play series. That's right, Subnautica will no longer be just confined to the VR holodeck. We are unleashing it, allowing it to reach full potential by turning it into a series. Now, this being a new series, I'm actually going to start a new game. I'm not going to use the save file I have from the holodeck. Even if I did, I'm probably missing out on a whole bunch of new stuff, because this game has been heavily updated since I first started the VR holodeck. On top of that, I think they've reached a point where we're gonna see more stability in this game. I don't mean execution-wise, I've never quite had many problems with this game, but I mean gameplay-wise. We'll be able to use the same save file for a while now and not have to worry about starting over completely. So I'm gonna go ahead and take survival, and the game will launch. One of the things I noticed in their latest updates is now we have a load screen. It's no longer blank in the headset when you transition. And as I open up in Subnautica's introduction scene, I'll let that happen. We're gonna go ahead and introduce this 1,000 subscribers special. So this whole thing is working now. I don't recall watching this in any of my previous games. Oh, is that it? Oh, that's it. Okay. So the only difference is you now see the preceding credit before moving on. So it is looking great in here. And before I go on about too much Subnautica specific stuff, I do want to talk about the 1,000 subscribers special. Let's get to it.
Catastrophic hull failure. Cause unknown. 0 human life signs detected in 100-meter range.
Hey, what about me? Am I not human? Alright, I have let the annoying lady cite an entire freaking encyclopedia. Something I have just discovered from the new update in a hard way. But it looks like she's gonna let me talk now. And think. Also, I noticed I was spawned. My capsule was spawned next to a herd of stalkers. It looks like it's dissipated a little bit right now, so it's a lot safer. But I gotta be careful not to head right in the creep weed, especially not now. I don't even have a hunting knife yet. But yeah, now that I can talk and think, let's get to the main feature. 1,000 subscribers. Holy crap. First off, I'd like to start the special by issuing, oddly enough, an apology. I am a little bit overdue on this, just only a little bit. The reason why I am overdue is because I have been hesitant on choosing what to do for it. I have never done a subscriber milestone special. What the hell is that? Oh, that is weird. So I've never done a milestone special before, so I really didn't know which direction I would take for that. And if I look at the norm, if I look at other YouTubers and what they do, it seems to frequently be done in the vlogging format. Which to me, doing that would have not been very productive. I wasn't too keen on doing that because it would have veered off too far from what conforms to Stereo 3D Productions content, which either involves gaming, virtual reality, stereoscopic 3D to some extent, some kind of action footage, something. I couldn't just turn on a camera and talk to it, as I've seen seems to be the norm. And I think that other YouTubers may actually do themselves a disservice by doing so, because you go so far away from the typical type of content that's created the audience that you're thanking in your subscriber special by going into vanilla vlogging that you end up having less views on your subscriber special than you do on most of your other videos. I've noticed that being a trend. So I hesitated a lot on what I was going to do. Would this be a one-time thing that I do just for the subscriber special? I wasn't gonna go in the review type production department. Oh, that lady again. I'm just
calculating risk assessment. Death by malnourishment 7%.
Can you yes please cite all the numbers to make sure I lose my train of thought. Here's the thing about this game right now that I have to bring up. There's no way to shut this lady up without turning the sound off in the game, and I don't really want to do that. But I will tell the developers of Subnautica that I am really annoyed by this part of the update. I mean, it's good. I'll give him one thing. There's a bit more tutorialistic stuff in there because she's explaining what's going on, which was not the case before. But can I have an option to not have it happen? Just like, for example, if you're streaming or if you're trying to record a video, that is really fucking annoying. But yeah, like I said, I was hesitant on how to make my production, how I was going to go about producing the special. I wanted it to be special. Initially, I leaned towards creating the 1,000 subscriber special as an episode of my Fallout 4 virtual reality Let's Play series. And I got a funny story behind that. So first I'm gonna craft some titanium here. Wonder how much I could make. Ooh, cool. I actually proceeded to doing that. It was decided it was gonna be a Fallout 4 VR episode. And the reason why I chose to do that is because if you remember properly at the end of part 17 in that series, things went south very rapidly. It did not go well. I got really fed up with the game towards the end of that part, and you can see I left on a really, really sour note. It was not cool. It was not enjoyable anymore. So I decided to shelve that game. And of course, doing the tutorial, the Vorpex tutorial for it, sort of gave me a bit of a desire to play it again. So I figured it'd be a good idea to use that for the 1,000 sub special. I got a lot of subscribers that came in, not just from the Vorpex tutorials, but also from Fallout 4 itself. And it was just a good fit, right? I'll go figure. Oh, wow. Hello there. Nice of you to find ways to constantly distract me, game. It's hard to keep a train of thought of Subnautica, I gotta tell you. I went on to recording the first attempt at the 1,000 subscriber special, that being part 18 of the Fallout 4 VR Let's Play. About an hour in, and forgive me, I had not saved because I kind of lost the habit of doing the manual saves because I hadn't played the game in so long. So I sort of falsely assumed checkpointing for some reason, so I didn't save, and on top of that, after about an hour of play, got stuck in the geometry. And I was taking part in what was otherwise a very exciting and kind of fun piece of combat. I was actually enjoying myself. Fighting off an attack guard surrounded by raiders, holding my own. And there's a kind of pickup truck with an arm and a hook. Here she goes again.
Suggest a quantum detonation has occurred in the Aurora's drive core.
I think that means
the
it's going
central
to
dark
explode.
matter reactor will reach a supercritical state in T-minus 10, 9,
Oh shit.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
This is worth listening.
2.
Ooh, they fixed a lot of visuals in that explosion. There's a sort of recoil in the sound. Now, I do think my health will be going down a little bit because I can hear the counter going nuts. Wow. So, the geometry, the way I got stuck. I am trying to evade an attack dog, and there's raiders all over the place shooting at me. So I'm trying to dodge that at the same time, and I run behind a pickup truck that has one of these arms with a hook on top sticking out from the back. And I stand under the hook. And there we go, I can't move anymore. I mean, I could rotate and aim, but I'm getting owned by the attack dog. Can't get it out of the way. And then the game reloads, and I am literally half an hour before where I was at the point where I got killed. And I just went like, you know what? I'm out of here. So, back to square one. What do I do for my 1,000 subscribers special? And here we are. I thought a lot. I looked at my list of games, and I'm surprised that I didn't have this idea any earlier. Subnautica is a pretty wildly logical choice. Ooh. Floating air pump is a device that pumps air into pipes. I think I'm gonna need some quartz as well, so that I can actually make myself some glass. So let's go find some quartz. My water looks okay-ish. I know that there's 2 bottles in there. I'm gonna have to go get some salt. But yeah, paid the heavy price for wanting to get back to a game that, I mean, I thought I liked, but at this point, 3 times in a row I try to have a good time with it and it screws me over. The only time it didn't totally screw me over last is when I was making the tutorial for it, for Vorpix. So that's it, we end up with not just a video about Subnautica, but a whole new series around it. I thought it'd be a good idea because it sort of does the 2-for-1 deal there where you don't just get this video, you get the whole series as a sort of gift. My gift for you 1,000 or more subscribers by now, definitely more. I am very surprised to have reached this milestone already. I don't want to sound cliche here, I'm actually legit surprised. I'll tell you why. Well, first off, you've heard me say it several times before. My channel is, at least as far as it goes for me, a hobby. I don't intend on turning this into a career in any way. I don't intend on going big, quote unquote. I do this because I'm a nerd and I like to play video games, and at this point, because I've done this a lot on the channel, it's become second nature to me to sort of go into commentary mode when I play video games. So why not record almost all of it? Is my logic. I mean, I think it's escape to get out of this yet. I could do this all just for myself, but I'd probably still record it because I believe in a thing known as video review. There we go. Help a little bit. So I believe in a thing known as video review. I think if you want to get better at a game, there's no better way than to record your own gameplay and watch a bit of it after. I'm not saying you sit and watch yourself play non-stop through and through. You're the one who experienced it. You should remember a good deal of it. But you review to see those little moments where a mistake or a seeming glitch occurred, to see if it was in fact a glitch or a mistake. You can analyze your own play and come back and do better next time, and I believe in doing that first and foremost. So likeliness is I'll be recording, and I don't mind doing the extra work of doing the post-production, doing it properly so that it looks good, and publishing it on YouTube for you people to watch. And go as far forward in the past as, say, January 2017. Go ahead and come up to me and tell me, hey, you're gonna reach 1,000 subscribers by June, 1,000 or more subscribers by June. I wouldn't have believed you at all. Why is that? Well, channel was doing pretty good, but the subscription rate had naturally slowed down a little bit. It had been a while that I'd done one of these main feature videos, like for example my HTC VIVE Oculus Rift comparison review. That's the kind of thing that can't come around every month. So the Steam had died down a little bit. I brought it back up with the year-end debrief, which I personally think is of the same grade as, for example, the comparison review. And then after the Fallout debacle, the game getting me pissed off, I slowed down on that, and I do know that, unfortunately, the Fallout 4 Let's Play series is a good source of new subscribers. So there's a whole bunch of convergence of factors there that just slowed me down a little bit. It wasn't terrible, it was just a bit slower than usual in terms of subscription rate. And then came the Vorpex tutorial series. Now I knew that the Vorpex tutorial series would be popular. Reason being is because I found myself in so many different times in the situation that my viewers have been in for a while, and that is that you want to play a game with Vorpex. You have no reference, you have no starting point, you're not sure what you're supposed to do, and then what happens? Well, you get fed up trying to even get games working, and you sort of give up on it. What I wanted to do with that is do what I wish I had when I played a few of these games, is have a reference, have someone show me at least a starting point. And I decided to go above and beyond that and give people a full end-to-end configuration process for every game, in addition to a very general guide that would allow... Oh no! Shit. Whew. Whoa, did that fuck up the hole? Oh no, okay. We're good. What's up with these guys? Can I pick you guys up? Pick up quartz. I think I might have flares on me. Oh, nice. Crashfish powder. Something. Something-a-majiggy. Get some food here. Oh, gotta be careful not to swim right into a stalker at this point. But yeah, it looks like the Vorpex series was so damn well received that it raised the rate of subscription on my channel above and beyond what I ever expected I could attain. And that legit, this update has to be rectified to shut this lady up. There needs to be an option. She's more annoying than, you know, I think her name is Bitchin' Becky in the airplanes. The annoying voice there, stall, approaching limit. She's more annoying than that because she recites entire encyclopedias. Again, I said earlier, it's okay if that exists, just allow us to turn it off. Because if you find it annoying, you want that out of your way, it really turns you off from an otherwise very positive experience. So the Vorpex tutorials really were way better received than I ever expected. The main thing is, I did expect view count on it. I didn't expect 3,500 views that quickly on even the main feature. But I expected view count. I think that's nice. Whoa! Oh, they go far now. Holy shit. That's crazy. Ooh, creature egg, yay. Please don't explode on me. Please don't go al-jihada on me. Ooh, I can hear the big guy. Oh, there's the big guy. But yeah, the Vorpex series is so damn well received that I went up. I was at 780 subscribers when I began the Vorpex tutorial series. I rushed up over 1,000 in a matter of 3 or 4 weeks. Let's say a month to be safe. And that was totally awesome to see. I was hoping, obviously, to stir up some action on the channel, stir up some life in the channel with that series, but damn, that worked handsomely, did it now? Because it really rushed me to a goal that I hadn't even set yet. So it sort of put me ahead of time on that. And of course, to me now, it makes it worthwhile. I was gonna make all these Vorpex tutorials anyways. I already had a preset list and I'm not even done with it yet. So I still have like tutorials on the to-do list that I actually really want to do, and for a good part, I know exactly what I want to do for them in terms of the video. So now, it's not just a question of motivation, it's a question that all that hard work I'm going to be putting in those videos are going to get viewers. That's cool. It's actually going to get watched a lot more than I expected. There's just also welcome. I want to thank every single person who comes to this channel, not only watches a video for a long duration of time, but goes out of their way to hit subscribe. I mean, this is an action that is required from you that is entirely not necessary and fully voluntary, so I'd really have to be appreciating of that and show my gratitude. Go figure that Stereo 3D Productions, the day at least the page was created on YouTube, was not intended on being a gaming channel. The first thing I ever published on this channel was a stereoscopic 3D dive video. And the reason why I went with something more polished, instead of just making a channel, giving it my first name, and slapping the video on it to share with my fellow divers, I figured I'd want to do stereoscopic video production more often. Go beyond just that dive video. So when I did create the page to share that video with my fellow divers, I went ahead and created a more polished page. Gave it a name, Stereo 3D Productions. Posted the video on there. In fact, the credit of Stereo 3D Productions is mentioned in that dive video, which is the very first video posted on the channel. And go figure, in the lapse of a few months, we sort of became a gaming channel. And that sort of stuck, and I didn't expect that. See, at the beginning, I was exploring stereoscopic 3D video production. So, naturally, I eventually delved into stereoscopic gaming. And that got me really interested in trying to produce videos that would represent how games look in stereoscopic 3D. That caught on. It caught on a lot more than the dive video. It got some interaction going. People were commenting. So it was clear that that type of content was highly welcomed. So I chose to go with it. And it sort of slowly but surely became a majority of the content on the channel. Then came along virtual reality, which totally solidified this factor. At that point, that locked me in. It didn't do it right away. In fact, virtual reality was featured very early on this channel, but it's only later that it became something that was featured on a regular basis, mostly because it just gained more popularity and importance. In this slow progression towards gaming that has now today become all about VR gaming, I do have to thank Eincrow from Eincrow Productions Co. and Red Pill Gaming Reviews for a few things, actually. I was just about to think I'll give him credit for the Let's Play series, but he's not just to be thanked for the Let's Play series. Back when I'd started publishing a bit of stereoscopic 3D gameplay footage without any commentary, when I started doing the gameplay thing in stereoscopic 3D, I did not add commentary to my video. It was simply just a game and the game audio and just an example of how it looked in stereoscopic 3D so people could see it for themselves. I did not expand with any commentary of any sort. So he came along, he subscribed, he was one of my early subscribers, and he actually one day suggested, why don't you do commentary when you do your videos? I mean, I didn't really see any objection to that. I was like, okay, you want commentary? Fine. I mean, I gave my justification for why I hadn't up till then, but at the same time, I was like, I'm surprised someone's asking, so go ahead and do it if you want. I mean, I don't mind doing it. It's my pleasure. That's where the commentary videos started. And then we can fast forward to after it started doing first impression videos very regularly, he once again can be credited for something else that became regular on the channel, and that's the Let's Play series. The Let's Play series at the time, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to get into them. It's very difficult to keep a good viewership going in a Let's Play series. It's very hard, and you also take the risk with your YouTube channel to become a single game channel, which is not necessarily good for the longevity of the channel in the first place. So I had my slight objections, but when I saw that, you know, Eincrow was strongly suggesting it, and it didn't seem like I should really have any objection to it, I went ahead and accepted the request and started doing Let's Play series on the channel, and I don't regret it one bit. This is a recommendation that has so far served me well. It's not just for you, the viewers, or for my channel, but it's also the fact that I've discovered so many games, so much more extensively than I ever could just doing first impressions videos. So much more than I ever could on my own without producing any videos at all. I would not have had as much motivation to play, to sort of, what the channel does often with gaming itself is it sort of persuades me to get out of my comfort zone when it comes to video games. If my process of discovering stereoscopic 3D gaming and virtual reality gaming had been done just on my own, just like that, without recording anything, I would not have delved this far outside of my comfort zone. I mean, which would be the typical classic first-person shooter type game. I wouldn't have gone into games with RPG exploration mechanics. I typically wasn't that much into those games myself. So the channel in a way has made me discover things that I didn't know I would like. It's also made me discover things that I hate. It's been quite an adventure so far. And at this point now, having gotten a really decent amount of subscribers, I don't think I'm gonna stop anytime soon. This will be an adventure I'll want to continue as much as I can, because I've enjoyed it so far. And I'm a fucking nerd. I can't help but want to record my video, find the best way to make it, and find out how I can adapt the content best for you, the viewer. I do the whole stereoscopic 3D production on the side for every single video I publish on this channel. Every video has a stereoscopic 3D equivalent. This is something I like doing. It's a nerdy thing. It's not easy. It's a good challenge, and I like me a good technical challenge. So, as I grow and as I continue, you can be assured that I will be here to stay for a long time. It's been a long history so far, and I hope it shall be a long history to continue. One of these histories will now comprise the Subnautica Let's Play, which the more I go on right now, and I'm only doing the basic beginning, I'm trying to get the tools I need to get into the more nitty-gritty of this game. Also, right now I should be thinking of getting gold and I think copper ore. There's some ore. It's all this stuff. Is that titanium? Is he stuck? Good. He's stuck, I think. Blow up, you little bastard. There he goes. Very nice. Blow up, you little bastard. Ooh, creature egg. It looked different from the other one. So this is... While Stereo 3D Productions is an adventure of its own, within it now, we have the adventure that is Subnautica. Really glad to finally make this into a Let's Play, by the way.
Oxygen.
Oh. Really glad to have made this into a Let's Play. Game needs a lot of looking at, and I can't just fucking pull that off by the droplets. I'm gonna skip on picking up quartz right now. I'm really looking for that ore. I saw a lot of it earlier. I'm gonna go figure. I'm a bit rusty on this with Subnautica. I forgot where it was. Oops. Just trying to look for ore points. Anyways, enough 1,000 subscriber stuff and enough history of Stereo 3D Productions. Not that I don't love you guys, but you see, that's the other problem with subscriber milestone specials. I mean, beyond giving a bit of channel history and saying what's happened leading up till now, what else can I add? I mean, I've given my thanks. I've explained how it happened. That's about it. So typically you'll know what to expect from a subscriber milestone video. That's why, as a starter, I needed something more special than just go on and say, hey, thanks, you know? Do a little bit more. Not sure what that was, but I think that was a lot more useful than the damn titanium I've been picking up. There's some ore. Some damn titanium. Again. So I wanted to talk about something else, actually. What is this, though? Inventory full. Okay. If I drop something, I think it's right-click.
Oxygen.
Take care of this right now. All the way back. This is copper ore. Good, perfect. That's what I need. Excellent. I've been picking up exactly what I need. So here's what I want to do. I want to talk about the stuff we heard at E3, because this is a virtual reality channel after all. And there's a lot of stuff said there that was relevant to what I'm interested in, what you're all interested in, so I think we're gonna go ahead and talk about that. In fact, we're bringing back Fallout 4 into the conversation here because, well, we got some good news about that. I'm not gonna go on too long about E3. There's a few things I do have to talk about. Now, first off, you have to understand that I'm not the best person to go to for that, like, immediate E3 happenings news type thing. I won't be able to recount to you. I'm definitely not the person to go and recount to you everything that happened at the venue, mostly because E3 itself, the event, let me see if I can make ingots here. E3 itself, the event, generally is known to make me want to claw my own eyes out. Look, I am not against studios or anybody who has anything to sell, right? They'll need a way to be able to show you their product, announce what's coming. I think gaming does have the right to such a thing, such a way to get us excited about upcoming products and inform us about them a little bit before they come out, so that the enthusiasm is brought up, right? That's okay. Oh boy, E3 is just marketing on overdrive. It's absolutely unbearable. Look, for starters, all the presentations, they're all scripted, okay? Everything that happens on stage is fully scripted. That would be okay if it was a one-man show, which it is not. There's a lot of conversations that go on that stage, and they're all scripted. They're not just scripted, but they're made by people that aren't necessarily that good at presenting or at acting. So the presentation itself, the delivery, is fucking cringeworthy. It gets terrible when it's a back and forth conversation because it is so cardboard-like and artificial. It's almost infuriating and cringeworthy at the same time. Go figure. On top of that, all the gameplay at E3, everything you see being played on stage is fake. Look, I know how marketing presentations work. I've participated in a small share of them, and I know the inner workings, and here's one of the inner workings is, this is something we kind of learned our lesson with throughout the 90s. If you're gonna present a piece of software, best present it based on video and best have a planned case scenario in your presentation. Reason being is there may be a glitch and you don't want to have a glitch in your presentation. Microsoft, for example, learned the hard way by having a lot of their live software have actual issues midway through presentations. A lot of people learned from what Microsoft experienced by starting to go for the fake route, right? So I'm trying to say, distinctly saying here, is that 99.999999% of the gameplay you see at E3 is 100% fake. And it unnecessarily angers me when it's not just fake, but it's really not made entirely clear that it's fake. In fact, they're doing the exact opposite. They're trying to make it look as authentic as possible when you clearly tell something is up and something is wrong. The moments where it gets the most cringeworthy is when they combine fake gameplay with fake conversation, like scripted conversation with scripted fake gameplay. So you got two terrible actors or presenters, quote unquote, doing terrible on stage, trying to pretend they're playing a game that actually is just a sequence of triggered videos on the screen. It's super cringeworthy when these presenters are children. It's fucking unbearable. Poor kids, man. What are they making these kids do on stage? It's just... ugh. So I cannot stand E3. Short of nearly wanting to claw my own eyes out of their sockets every 20 minutes. It's really not something I follow, and what I found unfortunate is while there's a lot of positive things to look forward to in gaming, there's a lot of bad things that the publishers are up to. And E3 is the time we tend to completely freaking forget about these terrible things that publishers do. Start getting oddly, uncharacteristically forgiving with them because, well, E3 is one big serving of hallucinogenic Kool-Aid. It's just what it is. It's not poisonous Kool-Aid. It's not gonna kill you. It just fucking makes you hallucinate and forget all the times we were lied to, especially at E3. All the times publishers straight out lied to us in what was coming and what we're gonna see and what their games would be capable of doing and what the content exactly was. Ubisoft, for example, presenting, again, I bring that up, fake gameplay that was so damn fake it looked nothing like the game they finally ended up making. That's terrible. Since E3 is, metaphorically speaking, the AAA publishers' hallucinogenic Kool-Aid, I tend to skip out on the events presented. However, I am interested in the subject matter. When they announce something, I like to know it's been announced in the first place. What I'm really interested in is the specifics of things. Once that entire bullshit presentation ends up on paper, something you can sit down and read, the bullshit goes away. You actually finally get a chance to inform yourself. For example, when they introduce hardware like the Xbox One X, I'm not even interested in consoles, yet I was interested in checking out the specs. I'm not gonna watch the presentation to check out the specs because I know that the presenter will show the numbers and proceed to giving himself a blowjob on the stage, but I will be interested in having someone report to me what they showed on the screen, if you get what I'm trying to say. So, in a way, what comes out of E3 is valuable to me. That being said, I'll be talking about 3 things today. Fallout 4 VR, Skyrim VR, and finally Doom 4 VR. Because I think they are, although there's a lot of VR stuff that came out of E3 in general, I think they are the most noteworthy. Put aside the E3 shit show. This is something to get excited about. To see Bethesda, a ginormous AAA publisher, get so committed to VR is, at the very base of it, super encouraging to me. This is super cool to see happen. But, that being said, again, completely outside of the E3 shit show, there are some downsides. There are some freaking downsides. And see, this is where the effect E3 has on gamers pisses me off. We tend to forget how many times we got fleeced by these publishers because they wow us with these presentations that are generally fake. the fact that they want to charge a full AAA label price for a game that a lot of people already own, which would be Fallout 4, to get the VR edition is pretty lame. That is some bullshit. And, okay, fine. Look, Bethesda have balls. At least the studio that made Fallout 4 within Bethesda, they got huge balls. Because they'll probably be one of the first and few to make their VR game, their VR edition, equivalent to the full fucking game that was originally made. I have to applaud this. This is huge. So, in a way, there is some just value in charging that price for their VR edition, but here's where I really get upset with them. Christ, you didn't even have the decency to, like, I didn't buy the season pass, right? But I think of someone who bought Fallout 4 and the season pass when all that shit was full price, maybe even pre-ordered it. I feel bad for these people. I don't think that's cool at all to not even have thought of trying to throw a bit of a bone at the people who have not just bought the game, but fully committed to it by getting into DLC and Season Pass. I mean, the Season Pass is an expensive addition to a video game. That shit is a lot of money. They didn't even think of... Maybe I'm not saying give them the game. I'm saying give them a discount on the game. It's a bit of consumer recognition, man. Would have gone a long way. I think it's a really terrible move to just go ahead and charge. Here's the thing. If you look at the price of Fallout 4 now, it actually has gone down in price. It's no longer $80 Canadian like they want for the VR version. So again, inexplicable. If they at least would have the prices match, they would have said okay. At least they kept it to the level of the actual game they're selling right now. But no. Zero consumer recognition, zero pre-order bonus, nothing. Just, here you go, full price, thank you very much, goodbye. The thing with me and Fallout 4 VR now is we reach a sort of stalemate. See, I don't generally have the habit of paying the AAA label full price of $80 Canadian. Not just for AAA games, for any games. I don't pay full price. I just don't. I either get a discount, I wait a while. It's not something I'm too crazy of doing myself, so that put me totally on the fence for when it came to Fallout 4 VR. I mean, they're pushing to my limits of what I'll allow, you know? I'm like, holy crap, do I even want to do this? This is freaking expensive. Well, I got some good news. My personal friend, Lord Astahoth, I was actually talking to him about the situation with Fallout 4 VR, and he barely let me mention my beef with this pricing model, or rather the complete absence of an actual pricing model. He actually offered to to gift me the entire damn game on the condition that I would perform a VR Let's Play of it. That caught me by surprise so much. Sort of reminded me how much of a Fallout fan he is. He's not just a Fallout 4 fan, he's a fan of the entire Fallout franchise. I actually accepted the offer, but I actually counter-proposed something, because while I'm not going to go and spend $80 on a game for myself, I think it's too much Especially a game that I already own, which I think is silly. Have to buy it again. I, even more, oh shit, do not want to make one of my friends buy me a game at the full price of $80. So my counter proposition was that I would basically share the price of the game with him. So we're gonna basically split the price. $40, $40. And I will be the proud owner of Fallout 4 VR, provided I do a Let's Play on it, which I don't mind doing. Even though I've had problems with Fallout 4 lately, trying to play with Vorpex. It's not issues with Vorpex itself, it's issues with Fallout 4. I do think that, well, first off, I'll be starting a fresh game. I'll have no choice. And on top of that, I'll be able to enjoy the beginning with far less visual issues than I used to have with Vorpex, because the thing will just be fully adapted for VR. I'm interested in re-seeing what I've already seen. All the parts that I really did enjoy, I don't mind reliving. So you're guaranteed there to get me going for at least 20 to 30 hours without encountering too many problems in terms of how the gameplay goes. Are you kidding? Wow, these updates have really done some weird shit. I'm not saying this is a bad game, but there's just weird shit that is unnecessary. Check this out. How am I supposed to know that? Look how far to the right open med cabinet is. And the whole time you're like, toss in like annoying things like the voice and shit. I wonder why those updates were made at all. Everything was fine last time I fucking played. And yeah, I'm just gonna pick this up and pretend nothing ever happened. Let's get back in the water. I thank you for supporting the comments I was just making by showing something else that was fucked up. Okay. I advise huge caution. Doom 4 VR will not be the situation we're in with Fallout 4 VR. One of the first things I read on that game is they chose to take the route of not reproducing the exact same game you have on screen, but rather they have adapted their game with focus on different gameplay mechanics to better suit virtual reality, such as puzzles, survival, and other things. And I find the description dreadful because they may have just turned Doom 4 into the kind of game, the kind of VR game with motion controllers that I absolutely hate. There's absolutely no reason to go and think that or do shit.
Hydration detected.
I think I got several problems at once here. I'm at the surface. I appear to go a lot faster, and I need to make sure I stay clear of this guy's bite while fighting him off, because it looks like it won't leave me alone. That's right, bitch. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. I'm not gonna let you... not gonna let you do this to me without a good fight. We're getting back home here. I'd like to do.
Vital signs stabilizing.
To stabilize my vital signs. Okay, he looks preoccupied with some debris, so we can continue this. But yeah, motion control VR games that overuse the motion controllers to the point where, like, hey, look, we use motion controls. If you've seen my Dead Effect 2 video, you now know my acronym, the acronym that I pulled out of my ass, which is HLWRMC. Hey, look, we require motion controls. By the way, a note on that. I have shortened it to make it simpler and to make it easier to have it catch on. It's just HLMC now. just HLMC. Hey, look, motion controllers. Because it's like the developers are just rubbing it in your face that they're supporting motion controllers, and it drills down to playing Surgeon Simulator. First off, it's something you can very well do on screen, and both in VR and on screen, it translates poorly because video game physics are not quite up to par to reproduce intricate mechanics. Even levers just don't feel like they're all there. And when I see a VR game load up and show you 3 levers to begin with, and you're supposed to use your motion controllers to move them, you don't have a button action to activate the lever, I get triggered, man. I fucking hate that shit. That's not my idea of playing a game. That's my idea of moving shit. Of just doing stuff. It's like, hey, you wanna play a game? Do stuff. Hey, look, motion controllers. HLMC. I'm very afraid that Doom 4 have taken the HLMC route. And I think about this. Doom 4 is this should be the one. If there's any game in there that should be exactly the same as it is on screen, it's Doom 4. It's supposed to be straight up shooting and violence. It's not supposed to be about puzzles. When I read the word puzzles in the description of this, I got really worried. I'm very much afraid that they've done the Alchemy Labs thing and they're just going to go full gimmick on us. I'm very afraid that it won't even be near enjoyable, and it may go as far as not feeling like Doom. Personally, I advise you on not pre-ordering that, and wait what people say. Wait to hear what people say about it when it comes out on launch day. I'd even recommend wait a week, because if it's a longer game, maybe the parts that suck are hidden within, and you'll need to wait till people play their way to that point in the game to know if it sucks or not. The bottom line being, I am worried that Doom 4 turns out to be very similar to, for example, the Batman Experience, the $21 Canadian tech demo being sold on Steam right now. That stuff is not good for VR. It's a detriment to VR, in fact. I really think, if you want to think like the person who created these experiences, you have to think like someone who's seeing VR for the first time. You know, you're only in your first few hours of VR, so you're impressed by absolutely everything it's doing. So you take these absolute core gimmick basics that are impressive at first, but you realize are really not necessary to make things fun or different. Now, at some point, a lot of these gimmicks get old and you move on and start getting into more advanced, more complex VR stuff, more impressive stuff. You start realizing that the answer is more in the content itself rather than being in the mechanics. If you are expecting anything complex from these experiences, if you yourself have experience as a player and get into any of these experiences, you're about 3/4 the way in and you're still, okay, so when does this start? Because I've only been fucking moving shit and just activating levers for almost an hour now. When does this actually begin? Where's the game here? So that's what I think happens, and I'm really afraid that Doom 4 VR, despite some pretty good footage, remember what I said on the fake gameplay thing? I'm still very worried that Doom 4 VR is not going to be good. So, no pre-ordering. Wait till it comes out. Wait a week or two. Wait to see what people say, if they feel fleeced or not. Alright, how does this work again? I got all my elements. We're going to build a habitat. Now, why would we build a habitat? Why is it red? I think I'll need a... Ooh, what? I can build it anywhere? I don't need a foundation or anything. This is fucking weird. But okay, fine. I guess I don't need a foundation. That's pretty cool. Where is the hatch? Alright, so what does it want? Glass and titanium times 2. Guess what, guys? I got a lot of glass and I got a lot of fucking titanium. The last of the 3 games I wanted to talk about from the E3 announcements, and that would be Skyrim VR. And why am I covering it last? It's not because I think it's going to be as bad as Doom 4 VR, not at all. It's because I just don't know it very well. I have very little experience with Skyrim. I'm not necessarily inclined on playing it. That's its first problem, the poor game. And I say the poor game because I don't even think it's a bad game. I actually think it's a pretty marvelous creation. The problem with Skyrim is just not my kind. And it's not just not my kind in terms of gameplay, it's not my kind in terms of the world. This Middle Earthish thing, I know when I was offered to go and have a glass of mead with somebody in the game, I was like, yeah, this is one of these things, I'm out. It's just not my kind of this Middle Earth shit is just, I don't like Lord of the Rings, for example. I don't know. Anyways, will I get back into it? Look, it's hard to say no, because it does look like they did just like Fallout 4 VR, where they're at least having the balls to put in the full goddamn game and not have this half-assed truncated VR edition with quote focus on puzzle mechanics. What are you guys thinking? And so it is so ballsy from that studio to have done that in 2 instances, Fallout 4 and Skyrim. God damn it, I almost feel obligated to at least investigate the Skyrim situation, so I can't say no. I'm not saying yes, but I can't say no. I just definitely cannot say no. It may happen. So, I'm not sure yet, but in my opinion, the fact that they've adapted that game, and you know, we could express disappointment for the fact that we didn't get any new big name game with the full VR support and the screen support. I mean, it is my belief that in a year's time, the standard should be, if you release a VR game, that it is your main game and that VR is an option within it. Because there is absolutely no justification to when you hear a developer say like, oh, we adapted this only exclusively for VR. No, there's no such thing as that. If you think that your game can only work in VR, you need to either go back to game development school or just give it up altogether. There is no reason for a game to only fit VR or to only fit the screen. A game should be adaptable to any media possible. This is, I think, the biggest element that developers have been missing out on since day one. Even with the motion controllers, you don't have to change anything other than the fact that you're holding the guns or the objects. When it comes to playing the game, don't reinvent the fucking wheel. It's a pretty solid wheel and it makes billions of dollars in the process. I think it's something we can call proven. So, to have games like Skyrim and Fallout, even though they're separate editions, separate copies of the game, they get a lot closer to my ideal scenario, which I think we should start seeing in a year from now, which is to have the full game, to have VR within it. I'm disappointed, and I can understand a lot of disappointment about us not having seen such an announcement, or at least concretely made at E3. There has been some things suggested were coming, but nothing concrete yet. I would like to tell everybody who's disappointed about that to actually, even for me, a total E3 pessimist, I'd like to say chill out. It's actually, this is very good. We may not have that ginormous title that came out with the VR built in, everything all at once on launch day, but Fallout 4 and Skyrim are ginormous behemoths, and to have them join the VR fray may help finally establish that AAA standard for VR game. That also is why I get very worried when I see that they're gonna charge their full AAA label price, because that could also become a norm, and that's something I don't like. I really hope we're not headed for a time where the VR game is a second purchase. That will not be good. Oh, whoops.
Stabilizing.
It was decomposing. How the hell was that good for me?
Vital signs stabilizing.
There we go. I'm gonna take a med kit too, I guess. Yeah. Need that. Oh, we're doing good. You know what I'm gonna do with this game so far? Let's save it. You might have seen my SteamVR empty screen there flash a few times. That's no big deal. The game does it every now and then. It seems to have a little hitch when it loads a section of the map. But other than that, tracking and performance has been pretty solid. I would say this is one of the best times I've experienced Subnautica performance-wise. This is really doing great today. I think one thing that's helping on the SteamVR side is the asynchronous time warp. And I think the other thing that is helping is they might have actually optimized this fucker. Because it actually, at the base, is running a lot better. So there's still a few hitches here and there, but nothing like I used to experience. Even though you've seen those little flashes occur here and there when it comes to actually playing on a sustained occasion. Thank you for showing yourself while I'm talking about that, Flash. You want to join in the conversation? But yeah, it's at best what it does is it makes me worry that the game's about to crash, but it hasn't happened yet, and I don't think it will. I think it's just the way things work. But Subnautica has been a great experience today. This is a great example of why I'm so happy, actually, of Skyrim getting VR as the full game it already is, not being readapted or butchered for VR.
Caution. Calorie deficiency.
Look
detected.
at Subnautica. Frickin' look at a game like Subnautica. They took the simple route for when it comes to VR. I mean, all they needed to do, really, for this game... Oh, inventory full, God. Alright, there we go. Fuck this inventory full shit. I need food, bitch. I'ma die if I don't get my food. Give me my food. Let's go home and cook some food. So Subnautica's a fucking good example of why you should hate games that get butchered for their VR edition. It's exactly the same as on screen. They didn't have to change very much. Now, yeah, they did struggle a lot with user interfaces. It's still not perfect. I will give them credit on this, even though the heads-up display is fucked now. The inventory screens and the crafting screens have gotten a lot easier to use with the mouse. So that's a huge positive. Oh, and here, talking about a game being butchered for its VR edition, you know what Subnautica did with the Oculus Rift? I have to bring this up, by the way, because this is huge, and it's something that made me put up a negative review for Subnautica. Uncrow did the very same thing, because this is heinous. Why the fuck is the mouse and keyboard disabled when you use the Oculus Rift? Why the fuck is this the case? What the hell is Subnautica doing? That is definitely not a good thing, Subnautica. That's something that should be resolved as quickly as fucking possible. No, gamepad only now for but only for the Oculus edition. We'll let you use your mouse and keyboard if you have a Vive. Check it out. I tried using a Vive. I tried using my Oculus Rift through SteamVR, thus fooling Subnautica into thinking I'm using my Vive, right? Because I wanted to use the Oculus Rift for this game with my mouse and keyboard. It still disables the mouse and keyboard, even if you start through SteamVR. These cunts. Why the fuck would you have it there and remove it? It was there with Oculus before. I'm sorry, Uncro. Uncro has a DK2, so he can't use motion controllers. And he really likes using mouse and keyboard. Super used to seated VR. Starts this game, mouse and keyboard doesn't respond. I check on VIVE, I'm like, you won't believe this. Mouse and keyboard does respond. So this is something they've done to exclusively piss off Oculus users. Why the fuck would you do that, Subnautica? I needed to bring that up because I'm nearing the end of this part right now. I've done a lot of... How long have I been recording? This is going to be a monster. 2 hours and 12 minutes of recording time. I've done all my 1,000 subscribers special shit. I've talked about E3. Maybe I forgot some stuff, but I really talk about the bulk of what I wanted to talk. So we're nearing the end of this. I couldn't fucking leave without covering all this stuff. What a ghastly situation. To not have mouse and keyboard control anymore in Subnautica. That's... Fuck, man. Why? Pick up pipe with the mouse button. There we go. Okay, I'm going to assume now that I might actually have air early on. And we're gonna have this wonderful lady telling me that production is offline. Huh. Alright. I've been screwed by an unclear mechanic. This is not having an effect whatsoever on my base. I remember the first time I played this game, I tried the pipes. I'm talking a long time ago. Like the first time I ran it and just checked out how it would work. I don't even have a video of this. I created the pipe. I was like, well, this item is pretty fucking useless. Here I am again thinking the exact same thing. This item is pretty fucking useless. Obviously there's something I'm missing here, but I think it's funny that I just made all this. It looks ridiculous, but more so, not only does it look ridiculous, it fucking does nothing. See, 96, 93, no, and I feel like oxygen, fucking bastards, the oxygen is actually going down faster here than it is out here. I'm gonna think of wrapping it up now. I know how survival games go. You wanna wrap it up, you need another fucking 20 minutes of gameplay before it lets you leave. I'm gonna get myself a bit of food. Go back to the capsule. Call it a day. It's been very good so far. I hope I can actually preserve. Oh, it's a save game for more than 1 or 2 plays. Because at this point, I wish I have continuity with this game. I never played it much further than the very first few steps. And there's a lot more to do than what I've been able to show you at this point. I'd like to have some air in that base so I can stand in there and do my outro from there. I will go attempt to do my outro from there. In fact, I'm gonna equip a third O2 tank. I'm not gonna want to use that thing all the time. Okay, I get it now. The pipe thing. That pump would draw air out of my base, not into it, you idiot. So, what I'm gonna do as the closer, I'm gonna do a simple closer here. Can I deconstruct the pipe? I cannot deconstruct the pipe. Can I destroy the pipe? Cannot destroy the pipe. Alright then. Wonder if I can fucking put an air pump right above this thing. This is a bit stupid. See what it does there? Ah, that's a bit dumb. Why don't you fucking deploy it exactly where I am? Right. So, I'm gonna do this until I run out, I guess. Okay, I ran out. Pipe. 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 Can I stretch it? Christ, I can stretch it far. Christ. There we go. Now, how come I suddenly can't pick up these? Oh, because I have to pick them up from the top. I get it. That's pretty stupid. Here we go. Let's make ourselves a nice network. Nice. So I don't have to completely go back to the surface to get air from here. And I got my 3 huge tanks.
Warning, emergency power only. Oxygen
Let's get to the last thing I wanted to do for this video. I would deem it a total success if I could actually get to this. Wall locker only requires parts. Parts should not be hard to locate. One of the world's most abundant substances. So we're gonna go a little parts run, and then we'll call it a day. I'm really happy to start this. And again, all of you 1,000 or more subscribers, hope you stick around. We're gonna do this together. It's a new milestone. It's a new era for Stereo 3D production. Nah, I don't expect to revolutionize my content over this or anything. In fact, I think I found a place where I like to be now with the content, not just the Let's Plays and the first impressions videos, which have been pretty systematic for a while now, but also the Vorpex series. I'm really happy I finally got around to something of the sort. But not just that, I'm also happy that people are fucking watching it. So I knew it could prove helpful, especially if done correctly. Not too many mistakes or things that I could forget. Nope, this was done correctly. And to know that a lot of people are getting help from it is just heartwarming. I mean, that's, I'm super happy that the people are happy with my work. Because I know nobody's perfect. I could have made a lot of mistakes. I mean, I took a super cautious approach because I wanted this to be done right. And it's paying off. So, might not be looking to revolutionize my content over reaching 1,000 subs, but you bet your ass I'm gonna keep up the tutorials, because it's not just about the fact that people seem to like watching them, it's also the fact that I really like making them. As for the ending, oh, that was so close. I'm there thinking of the water, and I can fucking see the thing, the oxygen thing, flashing like crazy. That's funny, we didn't hear the lady warned me about my oxygen. I guess because I was in the habitat, somehow it decided. Let's not tell him. Common coral sample. Yep. I'm going to get one of those. I got some right under my house, so it's not gonna be too hard. This is what happens when you freaking want to finish playing a survival game. It just keeps you in there for all those little finishing touches. So not finishing touches at all. That was weird, the way the interface opened on me there. There we go, it's okay now. Gots to keep the vitals up. Gots to keep them vitals up. Right. And not just that, but we are eating delicious flatfish. Beauty, absolute beauty. on this note, folks, don't forget that you can also look forward to this new Subnautica series. As I leave you with a crude habitat, a full stomach, or at least, in good part, goddamn bad UI, a nearly full stomach, a well-hydrated character, I'm gonna go ahead and do something really weird and give myself a hard time the next time I start playing this by beginning my game inside a capsule that has absolutely no air production inside of it. So it's gonna be a bit of a surprise and a welcome back, now move your ass kind of thing next time I start playing. It's gonna be funny. I'm leaving myself a little gift. Anyways, it's probably gonna ensure, especially with all the talking that's going on in this one, that I start off the next episode in this series by cutting to the fucking chase and playing the game. I'll start here with my oxygen going down. I'll be like, holy shit, I gotta get out. And then I'm gonna get worked up with something out there and we're gonna be playing some Subnautica. So on that, this completes the 1,000 subscribers special. I hope you enjoy the series that I have inaugurated in honor of reaching the 1,000 subscriber milestone. And I really thank you for not just watching, but also for fucking subscribing. It looks like a lot of you have done that because the count is kind of representative. Thank you very much. Now folks, I shall see you next time. Been watching Stereo 3D Productions.